met his key contact, Mumabfato, deep within the University of Botswana's library. Mumabfato, a revered historian and environmental activist, was the co-founder of Bontlang. She had been the first to flag Tariq's suspicious land activity years ago. They spoke in hushed Setswana, exchanging documents over lukewarm coffee. "The whole Tusk project," Mumabfato whispered, tapping a brittle map. "It sits on the ancient route, the one we fought to protect from all development." She provided the critical piece of documentation, a signed, pre-Tariq-era decree designating the exact coordinates of the Tusk as a site of national historical and ecological significance, making all subsequent building permits null and void. "This is the legal key, Mumabfato," Neo confirmed, carefully folding the copy. "It confirms the illegal status of the entire property. But we need the practical key, the source of the money." Mumabfato hesitated, her face grave. "The rumors, Neo, are worse than construction fraud. They whisper of the ivory trade. Tariq's real estate development is a sophisticated cover for a transit hub, an untraceable storage unit for goods harvested illegally from the Delta, laundered through the property's immense cost." This was the truth. Neo's job was not about architecture. It was about exposing one of the biggest conservation crimes in the region. His sacrifice of a stable life and Lesedi's love was the cost of staying below Tariq's radar.
"He will never suspect a jobless man who lost his woman to a richer rival," Neo explained to Mumabfato. "I am invisible to him." He outlined his plan. His true occupation was not seeking a job, but executing an investigation that carried life sentences in prison and severe fines. He was the field agent, the systems analyst, and the lead writer for the biggest environmental expose the country had ever seen. The 2 years and 7 months were spent networking, training, and building the impenetrable digital evidence trail. The 6 months apart were spent finalizing the physical infiltration strategy. Lesedi's vanity and swift exit had simply provided the perfect, unchallenged cover. His goal had never been to win Lesedi back, it was to use her proximity to Tariq to locate the final physical evidence. Mumabfato looked at him with profound respect. "Lesedi made a terrible mistake, Neo. She chose the ghost of money over a man of substance." Neo felt a flicker of pain, but suppressed it. "She chose what she believed was real. Tariq Maseko is nothing but a shell of borrowed light. I need to find the heart of his operation, a ledger, a server, or a hard drive. It must be in that secure underground vault." The conversation cemented the reality. Neo was an operative on the cusp of an incredible breakthrough. He needed Lesedi to act, not as his lover, but as his unwitting accomplice.
The crucial element of Tariq's operation, as identified by Neo's intelligence, was the foundation stone, a term used in intercepted communications. It was rumored to be a custom-built safe containing an encrypted memory drive hidden in Tariq's private locked study. Neo prepared the pouch, a small disguised tracking device and a miniature flash drive loaded with a sophisticated data mirroring program. He needed to plant this pouch on Lesedi without her knowing, or, ideally, persuade her to use it. He knew Lesedi was becoming restless. Tariq's life was about display, not intimacy. Neo's next move was a risky, high-stakes communication designed to unsettle her loyalty completely. He crafted an anonymous email using a throwaway account and sent it to Lesedi's work address. The content was simple. "Your boyfriend's empire is built on the bones of protected wildlife. Ask him about the foundation stone." The message was designed not to scare her away, but to leverage her curiosity and fear of being associated with a scandal. He needed her to be paranoid, to start snooping, and to create the necessary distraction for his infiltration. The countdown to Tariq's grand annual charity gala, the perfect cover for a security breach, had begun. The anonymous email rattled Lesedi profoundly.
She immediately dismissed it as Neo's bitter attempt at revenge, but the precise nature of the accusation, the foundation stone, sowed a terrifying doubt. She started noticing the cracks in Tariq's veneer, his sudden late-night departures, returning hours later smelling faintly of diesel and something metallic. The study, always locked with a heavy biometric scanner, became an obsession. Tariq would never let her in, citing sensitive business mergers. One evening, Lesedi overheard Tariq on a hushed satellite call, speaking in panicked tones about a shipment that was compromised and a certain asset that must be secured in the vault until the storm passes. The word vault clicked with the foundation stone email. She realized Tariq's wealth wasn't just built on shady deals. It felt inherently illicit and terrifying. The opulence of the tusk suddenly felt suffocating, not secure. She was no longer a partner. She was a trophy wife with a new title, isolated and worried. She missed Neo's quiet certainty, his moral anchor, the one thing she had mocked him for. That night, she stood outside the locked study door, her hand hovering over the scanner, wondering just what kind of security she had actually bought.
Tariq's annual charity gala was meant to be Lesedi's grand debut as the woman by his side, yet it became a humiliating public showcase of her diminished status. Held in the massive, chandelier-lit ballroom of the Tusk, the event was a dizzying mix of powerful local officials and cynical international investors. Lesedi, draped in a diamond necklace that felt too heavy, was constantly introduced as Tariq's associate, never his partner. She spent the evening smiling thinly while Tariq conducted high-stakes, coded conversations with men whose eyes darted nervously around the room. She saw the pity in the eyes of a few older, respected women who knew the history of the land and understood that Tariq's money had a stench about it. Lesedi was miserable, realizing her security was simply a beautiful cage. She was trapped in the center of a scandal she didn't fully understand but knew was dangerous. The gala was Neo's planned window. Security would be stretched, focused on the elite guests rather than the service staff. As she accepted yet another glass of cheap champagne from a passing tray, her mind was a whirlwind of panic. She desperately needed a way out, and she knew in her heart that Neo was the only person who had ever truly known Tariq's darkness.
Neo was there, not in a tuxedo, but in the crisp, anonymous uniform of a hired catering waiter. His hair was slicked back, and his eyes, usually open and expressive, were now cold and focused. Tariq, immersed in a conversation about mineral rights, walked right past him 3 times without a glance. Neo moved through the crowd with the practiced invisibility of a seasoned operative. He spotted Lesedi by the towering floral display, a vision of trapped elegance. Their eyes met across the room. Lesedi's face registered a moment of pure shock, then a wave of fear. She started towards him, but Neo shook his head subtly, his movements small, barely perceptible. He knew this was the only chance for contact. He walked directly toward her, his tray laden with empty glasses. As he brushed past her, his hand moved quickly, seamlessly. He didn't speak. He simply pressed a small folded piece of paper into her palm, a smooth transfer masked by the movement of his tray. Then he moved on, melting into the kitchen entryway, his heart pounding a steady rhythm of purpose. Lesedi felt the foreign object in her hand, warm from his touch. She instinctively curled her fingers around it, the metal of the diamond necklace suddenly feeling like a collar.
Lesedi slipped away to a quiet powder room to unfold the note. The paper was simple, handwritten, and terrifyingly clear. It was Neo's precise academic hand, but the words were pure scandal. The foundation stone is a hidden data drive. It is located behind the third portrait on the west wall of the study, the one with the false signature. Your security is built on stolen heritage, illegal ivory routes, and bribery. Tariq's empire will fall tonight. You are not safe. Find the drive. Save yourself, Lesedi. This is your only chance to prove you are not complicit. The words hit her like a physical blow. Not complicit. That was the point of no return. Neo hadn't tried to win her back. He had given her a terrifying choice: remain Tariq's accessory and face legal ruin, or use the access she had bought to redeem herself. She finally understood. Neo's joblessness had been a deliberate, meticulous cover. He hadn't been wasting time. He had been building the case that would send Tariq, and potentially her, to prison. The 2 years and 7 months he had waited were just the lead-up to this moment. What she had done to him, leaving him for a man she thought was secure, would now sock her with the ultimate consequence: total social and financial ruin unless she acted immediately.
Lesedi stared at the note, the ink blurring slightly. She realized the full, devastating extent of her mistake. She had chosen superficial stability over genuine character. Tariq's mansion was a crime scene, and she was currently the glamorous suspect. Panic gave way to a cold survival instinct. She smoothed the paper and went back out, affecting a look of bored sophistication. She found Tariq and told him she felt ill and needed to rest, ensuring he saw her take the secure back staircase to their private wing. Once inside the master suite, she waited until she heard the distant, muffled sound of the party. She slipped out and made her way to the locked study. Tariq had, in a moment of drunken confidence months ago, shared the master code, the date of his first successful, illegal land deal. She entered the code with shaking fingers. The lock clicked. The room was dark, sterile, and smelled faintly of expensive leather and dust. She located the west wall, counted 3 portraits, and ran her hand along the frame. Her fingers found the minute, almost invisible pressure plate behind the painting of an abstract wildlife scene. She pressed it. A small, hidden compartment sprung open. Inside, nestled on black velvet, was a silver flash drive, the foundation stone. Lesedi grabbed the drive. It was cool and heavy in her hand, the physical proof of Tariq's stolen legacy. She hurried back to the suite, her heart hammering against her ribs. She didn't dare use the suite's computer. She knew Tariq's devices would be monitored. She found a small, disposable tablet Tariq used for casual news reading and inserted the drive. It was indeed encrypted, but a simple text file, prominently titled Ledger Index, was accessible. The index confirmed Neo's claim. Detailed logs of illegal ivory sales, bribery payouts to local officials, and the exact coordinates of the protected wetland he had destroyed. Her name was even mentioned once, innocently, as the community liaison, whose job was to smooth over local environmental complaints. She felt a wave of icy nausea. She had almost been unwittingly written into Tariq's criminal history. She deleted the text file she had accessed and placed the drive securely in her bra. Her next move was to escape the estate. She planned to drive Neo's note back to the catering entry point, hoping he would be there. Her need for financial security had led her to the very edge of an abyss. The glamorous life was over. Only survival mattered now. She put on a pair of flat shoes and grabbed her small emergency handbag, ready to flee.
As Lesedi quietly slipped down the back service stairs, Tariq emerged from the shadows. He was pale, his composure shattered, having noticed the study door ajar after a frantic check. "Looking for something, Lesedi?" His voice was low and deadly. She backed away, hands subconsciously covering the hidden drive. He saw the movement. "The drive, Lesedi. Give it to me." He lunged, and a desperate, silent struggle ensued. Lesedi, propelled by terror, fought back, managing to scratch his face and break free, sprinting for the kitchen. Tariq was faster. He tackled her by the catering entrance, ripping the handbag from her shoulder. "Foolish, greedy girl," he snarled, searching the bag. He realized it wasn't there. His eyes flickered to her chest. Just as he was about to grab her again, Neo stepped out from the shadows of the utility closet, a small satellite phone held up to his ear. "They're here, Mapato. Engage protocol now." Tariq paused, momentarily stunned by the sight of the jobless waiter. How? Before he could finish, Neo, using the element of surprise, hit the emergency fire alarm. The ballroom music cut out, replaced by a howling siren, and the lights flashed violently.
The chaos was instantaneous. As Tariq tried to escape through the kitchen, a black unmarked 4x4, followed closely by 2 police vehicles, skidded to a halt outside the service entrance. Mapato, who had been waiting nearby based on Neo's signal, emerged and pointed directly at Tariq. He was immediately surrounded and arrested for conservation crime, bribery, and fraud. Neo stepped back, breathing heavily. He looked at Lesedi, who was standing frozen, the flash drive still pressed against her chest. "I need that, Lesedi," he said, holding out his hand. She gave it to him silently. Neo secured the drive. His job was done. He had waited, not for her, but for the perfect time to infiltrate and expose a national criminal. The next day, the papers ran the story not just on Tariq's arrest, but on the brave, tenacious conservationist whose 2-year undercover operation brought him down. Neo's full, meticulous exposé, The Price of Gold, was published globally, cementing his status as a national hero and securing the biggest, most prestigious job in his field. Lesedi was left alone in the ruins of the Tusk, having traded 2 years and 7 months of faithful, heroic potential for 6 months of borrowed criminal wealth. What she did to him earned her nothing but a lifetime of watching him achieve everything she had deemed impossible.